Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for all the support. I can't believe you guys helped me reach 100 subscribers. I'm so grateful. I never thought I'd get to triple digits, so that's awesome. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about loadouts. So this video is going to be about all of the stuff you can equip in boss challenge. So let's jump into the boss challenge mode here in the demo. Alright, so by default, you start with this costume, and you also start with these things equipped. They put protection type exospine on, melee protection gear, and beta charge gear. And the earrings, which you can take off. But yeah, so I'm going to go over every single thing you can equip, and I'll read all the descriptions so that you don't have to strain your eyes, you know, squinting at the screen. I'll just unequip everything first. Okay. Alright, so first of all, we have chain type exospine. Oh yeah, by the way, you can see here we have two sockets. This one's locked, and it says receive the engineer's help to unlock exospine sockets. So I guess at some point in the game, you know, you get this unlocked and you can equip maybe two of these, or maybe it's like a different thing. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And then as for the gears, it says use the Omnibolt to unlock gear sockets at the repair console. So we only have access to 2, but you could equip 4 in the game. And then yeah, let's start. Chain type exospine. So this one gives you 3 benefits here. Increases attack power of combo attacks level 2 or higher by 27%. What does that mean? If we go to the skills here, and I'm not going to jump into the skills tree like super in-depth, because I am going to do a whole in-depth video on mechanics and you know, the skill tree, everything. Like I was going to jump into the training mode and talk about that, because this game really deserves it. So I'll just, if it's relevant, I'll talk about it. So yeah, as you can see here at on the attack ring, there's all these different combos, and this one is, for example, Incursion 1, and then you have Incursion 2, so this would be a level 2 combo. So we have that benefit from the chain type exospine would apply to this Incursion 2, 3, and 4, and also it applied to, you know, this Onslaught 2, 3, and 4 here. So next we have crit damage increases by 23%. That's self-explanatory. If we look at our stats here, these are the base stats with nothing equipped. You have a 5% chance to do crits, and if you do get a crit, it's 150% damage. So you get an extra 50% over standard, which our attack power is 650 here by default. And then the last benefit is increases crit rate of combo attacks level 4 or higher by 30%. So like we were looking at earlier, any of the combos that say 4 or higher, I guess, in the full game there must be 5 and 6 or something, you get an extra bonus of 30%. So if we equip this, our stats reflect the bonuses, and you can see our crit damage is now 173%, which is pretty tight, but only 5% chance to get crits. There are some gears to help raise that though. Okay, so next exospine, we have the protection type exospine, a defensive exospine. I haven't played much with this one. I only really used it during my first boss challenge video when I just started playing the demo, and we get three benefits again. Damage received from enemies decreases by 10%, and that is all damage. So if we look at our stats here, you can see it says range damage reduction 10% and melee damage reduction 10%. So you know, it specifies everything here. And then it also says shield damage reduction max 52.5%. I don't understand that math exactly, but that's what that is. And then the next benefit is shield's protection level increases by 1 at maximum. What does that mean? If we look here at our HUD, under our HP on the left, you have the shield, which there's 3 sections of shield, and each section represents, you know, a level of how much protection you're getting, basically. So if you're at the highest level, let me do something real quick. Let me go ahead and put settings and put this display to just always on for this video. Alright, so yeah, if you are at level 3 shields, you're gonna get the most damage reduction percentage. Let's just say it's 50%. And then once you get down to your level 2, maybe now you're only blocking 30% of the damage or whatever it is. And level 1, maybe it's 15 or something percent. And so this adds a whole, that's pretty good. This adds a whole protection level. And you can see it also shows up on our stats. Our stats say shield protection level 3. So if we unequip this, now go out to the HUD, you can see shields are just 2 sections of shield there. Okay, the last benefit is has a chance to restore HP for 5 seconds while guarding or parrying when HP is 20% or less. And I'll show you what that looks like. She kind of just glows green. I'll put a little clip in here. Okay, next we have the reflex type Exospine. This is another defensive Exospine. So the benefits are shield regenerates faster when using guard. And your shield is always, as long as you're not taking damage, your shield is always going to be regenerating slowly, but this just lets it regenerate a little bit faster if you're using guard. Let's see, so next we have makes it easier to use perfect dodge and makes it easier to use perfect parry. Now, there's some benefits to using, like you might want that if you're specifically going for like here, for example, let's say you wanted to recharge a lot of your beta energy. Well, this ability says increases the amount of beta energy recharged with a successful perfect parry. So now this Exospine might look more attractive to you if you're doing some kind of build where that matters. And oh yeah, and also this stuff. Actually, this is the only Exospine that nothing pops up on the stats because it is. Yeah, that's the only one. Okay, interesting. Anyway, that's all the Exospines. Next, we have gears. I'll sort by name here. Start from the top. We have 2 beta charge gears. You can see this is a 1-star beta charge gear and this is the 2-star one, the difference being 6% bonus versus 8% bonus. So this just gives you more recharge on your beta energy whenever you do attacks. You basically refill the beta energy. First of all, it's above your HP gauge. It's these little squares and each square consists of 4 tiny squares. And so one big square is basically 1 bar. So that's your meter to do, different kinds of like EX moves, like charge moves and stuff. For example, let's go over here to, like, if we go here to survival, like this ability is called counter, okay? You can see under counter 1, it says ×1 consume 1 big square. And so if you input this command and you don't have the beta energy for it, nothing's gonna happen. And then you have some like this one consumes 3, I mean, this is not unlocked in the demo, but this one consumes 3 full squares. And what else? Yeah, so that's beta charge gear. You can equip both of them too. So you can see here, equip 1, it says bonus beta energy recharge 8%. We equip both, and now we're at 14%. Okay, so after that we have beta enhancement gear. Okay, so this says increases beta skill attack power plus 4.5%. So it reflects on our stats. You see there, bonus beta skill attack power, and the beta skills are just these. So we have these 4, which are the ones that show up on the bottom right. I'll show you here. You see the ones on the bottom right where you hold down L1 and then press a button. So this increases the damage of those things. Pretty cool. Sort by name. And what's crazy, I mean, it's only 4.5%, but that's just the 1-star version. So I guess the 2-star, maybe it gives you, who knows, maybe it's 6 or 7%, something much better. And then I guess all the 3-star, there's no 3-star gears in the demo, but I'm guessing the 3-star ones are probably more rare and harder to find, or you got to do some quests to get them, and so they probably have more bomb, like, more badass effects. Where were we? Okay, next, beta recovery gear. This one says beta energy recharge proportional to damage taken 2. So recharges beta energy per 1% of HP lost when taking a hit. So we equip this, and you can see it shows up there on our stats. I haven't played with this one at all, but maybe if you're in like some kind of area where you have to get hit, or like there's like a swarm of enemies and it's harder to avoid taking damage, you get some beta energy back. And then after that, we have combat continuation gear. So this one says upon enemy's defeat, attack power plus 6%, duration 10 seconds. This is pretty cool because if you have, and this is only the 1-star version, so if you're in an area where there's a lot of like little weak enemies and you can just kill a bunch of them in quick succession, I'm assuming this stacks. So let's say you kill 3 little spiders or whatever, now you've got plus 18%, and for duration, 10, 9, 8 seconds, however quickly you killed them, and for a little short period of time you have a lot of extra damage. That's pretty cool. Maybe the higher star versions have longer duration on top of the more percentage. Okay, after that we have combat supply gear. Upon enemy's defeat, recovers 90 HP. That's pretty self-explanatory. After that, there's combo attack enhancement gear. So this is combo attack power level 2 or higher, plus 14%. Pretty good. Again, only the combos like we were talking about earlier, the ones that say level 2 or higher would get this benefit. You can equip it and it'll show here up here on your stats, bonus combo attack power, level 2 or higher. After that, we have crit boost gear. So this says increases crit rate plus 4.5%. And so now we go up from that base crit rate of 5%, now we're at 9.5%, you know, 1 in 10 basically, pretty good. And again, that's only the 1-star gear. I mean, the 3-star stuff has to be hard to find, because like I guess the 2-star, maybe it gives you 6%, 8%. Pretty powerful, I think. Okay, crit enhancement gear. This is crit damage plus 9%. And so we can see here our crit damage now says 159%, which if, let's say we combine that with our chain type Exospine, now we're at 182% crit damage. And if we can increase, this might be a good build, I should probably try this. If we put all these on, so now we have an extra crit rate, 4.5%. So we're at crit rate 9.5% and crit damage 182. That's a lot of damage potential there. So that's pretty cool. Whoops. Okay, let's jump back into the next one. Okay, alphabetical order. Where were we? Fixed damage gear. Okay, so these are the next two. Fixed damage gear. These stack. You can put on both of them. I did a quick test with these fixed damage gears, and you can see here in our stats it says bonus fixed damage upon combo attack 155. It says upon combo attack, so I'm assuming if you do like one hit, like let's say the first hit of whatever, like let's say the combo, you know, you do triangle, square, square, triangle. That's a combo. If you just did the first hit, well, the game's not gonna give you a bonus there, but I'm assuming each subsequent hit would then do the bonus damage, the fixed damage. But anyway, I did a quick test. I'll show the screenshots here. It appears to do about 33% more damage, at least with these two equipped, compared to regular. So I don't know how all that math works, but yeah, it did about 33% more damage from the test I did. I pretty much waited for the boss to do a specific attack so I could set up like a reliable combo. I did the exact same combo, same amount of hits, and that was the difference, that one extra bar. So you can see without the fixed damage, it did three lines there, and then with the extra one it did 4 lines. So basically an extra 33% is how I figure. Take those off. All right. After that, what's next? Gold gear. I mean, irrelevant to combat, but increases gold drop by monsters by 40%, and only the 1-star version. So if you're grinding for gold, maybe you're, you know, respawning enemies at a camp over and over to get gold for something. After the gold gear, there's melee protection gear, melee damage reduction plus 10%, and there's also another one available here, 7%. So you could equip both. Melee protection gear. So now we have plus 17% melee damage reduction, which is, you know, a nice chunk. Okay, after that, we've got perfect combat gear. There's two here that are similar. There's the perfect combat gear and the risk-taking gear. So these are pretty similar. We have the perfect combat gear gives you an extra 7% attack power when HP is high. So our attack power by default is 650, so we get 650 plus 7%. If our HP is high, I don't know exactly where the threshold ends, because the HP isn't... Your health bar isn't split up into sections like the shields, so I don't know where, you know, I don't know where when the bonus stops. But then once you're low enough, I guess maybe when you're blinking red, like the whole screen blinks red when you're close to death, you get an extra 9% with this gear. So the risk-taking gear just gives you 9%. The perfect combat gear gives you 7%, whether you're high HP or low HP, depending on which one. And these are just the 1-star versions. So, you know, it doesn't seem like that much, like this 9% doesn't seem like a lot, but it's only the 1-star version, so you gotta keep that in mind. Maybe the 3-star one is gonna be like a red tearstone ring pretty much, which could be pretty hype, because, I mean, Dark Souls speedruns, I don't know if they still are, but, you know, I really was into the runs that revolved around red tearstone ring. So, it'd be cool if this game has that. Let's see, next we have the protection gear. This is damage reduction plus 6.5%, and that's all damage. So, you can see here, it specifies separately melee damage and range damage reduction 6.5%, which means if we equip this with the protection type gear, Well, we boosted those to 16.5%, but as you can see, the shield damage reduction max is still at 52.5. It doesn't go above that, so let's say we unequip this, take this off. The shield damage reduction is still at 52.5% max. So I guess it just can't go above that, even if, you know, your gear might allow it to otherwise. Okay, what's next? We've got, so those are the two protection gears. And then we have ranged enhancement gear. So this increases ranged attack power by 4.5%. Equip it, it shows up in our stats. So anytime you're using either of the weapons, either of your guns here, whether you're using the slug ammo or the blaster cell ammo, you'll get a bonus there. Okay, after that we have, I talked about risk-taking gear. Oh, range protection gear. I missed this one. So decreases range damage taken from enemies by 9%. And it shows up there under stats. That one's pretty self-explanatory. This boss, for example, he throws rocks at you, so it would reduce the damage of the rocks. Or whatever. I mean, I don't know if there's enemies with like... I mean, I'm sure there's different kind of projectile enemies. You don't see a lot of them in the demo, but I'm sure there's a lot more in the full game where that might be more relevant. Specific sections, like I'm imagining, maybe there's like... I don't know if there's gonna be a Blighttown section, but you know, if there's a bunch of douchebags throwing poison darts at you, the range damage reduction is pretty nice. Okay, next we have shield destruction gear. So this one increases damage to shields by 18%, and that seems like a lot for, this is just the 1-star version of this gear. So I mean, that seems pretty good to me if, you know, you've got particularly chunky enemies with a lot of shields. Basically just probably boss fights is where it's gonna most come in handy. But yeah, continuing on with shields, we have shield enhancement gear. This one increases your shields by 100. So you can see our max shield here by default is 500 baseline, and then we equip this. Now we're up to 600, and that doesn't affect the like the number of sections of shield. You can see it's still only 2 bars, but now each bar is like, you know, maybe I guess 300 since it's 600 in total. After shield enhancement gear, we have shield penetration gear. So now you're reducing the effectiveness of the opponent's shield by 9%, basically, since let's say your attack does 100 damage, but then, you know, their shield blocks 50% of that. Now it'll only be blocking 41% of that. And you can see it shows up here on the stats as well, shield penetration. Okay, past that, we're on to attack speed. I did a video on these, and it was pretty cool. And now that I've, you know, now that I've got like a better handle on the game, like I'm starting to learn, I feel like I could make a much better video in showing off like actually how fast you can get, because, well, you'll see. I'll make the video, don't worry about it. These do stack too, by the way. Where is it? Speed increase gear. So you can see here, we have 2 attack speed increases. One is 12.5%, the other one's 10%, for a total of 122.5%. So that's, you know, the 1-star gives you 10, the 2-star gives you 12.5. I would guess the 3-star gives you 15. And yeah, pretty cool that you could, I mean, theoretically you could equip, maybe you can get 4 3-stars if there's multiple 3-star gears in the game, and then you can have a total of, you know, 60% extra attack speed. That sounds crazy, but we'll have to see. So that is just the, and let me show you a quick test. Let me just show you what it looks like. Let's go to, here's nothing. Here's no gears on, because that's pretty slow at the end there. So if we go ahead and equip the 2, we equip both of them. I mean, you can just see how much faster that last attack came out. And again, I'll show you one more time without them. Let's unequip them. Pretty noticeable difference. Alright, so after the speed increase gears, let's go ahead and jump to training gear. Oh, this is the last one. Okay, so bonus SP experience acquisition 10%. So the SP experience is just here. You can see in the top right, it says 0 SP, and then there's like a bar and it says 0%. So that, you know, you fill killing enemies and doing stuff, that bar increases. Once it gets to 100%, it rolls over and you get 1 SP. So this will just increase that if you're, you know, grinding for SP. And that's all the gears. The exterior stuff doesn't affect your stats or anything, so, but, you know, you got the 4 costumes here that are available in the demo. 1 pair of glasses. And the cybernetic tooth earrings, which you can take off if you like. But yeah, that's everything. So hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned. I'm gonna do a deep dive. Like I said, this game really deserves a deep dive into the mechanics and the combat because it's just so good. Like I haven't been this hyped for a game in a while. So stay tuned and thanks again.